Oh, drat. I was driving along minding my own business when that vulgar leech hit my Beamer with his pickup truck. I fear I've fractured my clavicle.
I say, old boy, don't simply put it in the hands of your insurance company to sort it out. Talk with the dedicated road solicitors at the Advocates Law Firm.
Pipe down, you old sod. The Advocates will see your case through to the bitter end and won't sleep a fortnight until they have victory in their grasp.
Jolly good, old man. Jolly good indeed. You get injured, the Advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Hey, Ola, it's Miles. Thank you guys for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast.
Have you heard our newest podcast? It's called The Greatest Story Never Told.
Download it today on radio.com. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded every Tuesday at noon.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Categories on Your Guess As Good As Mine count of the most famous WWE wrestlers of all times. And your favorite top 10 rock bassist. Let's go. Your guess as good as mine right after emails on a random question. Question 206-421-ROCK.
Random.
Hello, Dave. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hola.
Dave, welcome to the program. Random question. All right,
Hey,
Dave.
Can I give you some information real quick?
Okay.
Well, I called in last month because I had my 60th birthday, and my buddy had his birthday 2 weeks after me. But his dad used to take us to wrestling all the time when we were kids.
Who were the big wrestlers at the time you went?
Well, that's what I was getting to, was the fact that one of the guys we used to watch all the time and really enjoy was Rocky Johnson, which is Dwayne The Rock Johnson's father.
Oh, right.
Yep, he was...
And then one of the other guys was one of my favorite wrestlers. My friend just told me the other day was that Peter Maivia, who was Samoan, was Dwayne The Rock Johnson's grandfather. So his father and grandfather used to wrestle together.
You think he's a disappointment now that he doesn't wrestle anymore? You're killing the family business.
No, not at all. We actually ran into Rocky Johnson at a sporting goods store when we were kids and just had a blast. And he actually used to be a sparring partner for Muhammad Ali.
My grandfather tells a story of, and he loves wrestling, and it was the Georgia Championship Wrestling Association at the time. Everybody was split off.
Right. It was all regional, right?
Before WWE bought everything. But they came to town. It was like Tommy Wildfire Rich and all these guys. And they were in a Paul Orndorff. They were in a diner, and someone's giving them that wrestling's fake. You know, you guys are a bunch of fakes. You know what I mean? You couldn't beat a fly, blah, blah, blah. They took his ass outside. And worked him over. But then they hung him by the telephone pole on the first ring where you put your foot up if you're a service technician. Yeah. This is like 12 feet up. They got him up there 12 feet up off and hung him by his pants, apparently. And they couldn't get him down, so they had to call, like, the fire department or something.
You know, some people always like, wrestling's fake. Okay, it doesn't mean they can't beat your ass.
Yeah. Yeah, they
both can be true.
Right. That's exactly it.
Apparently they were in like a van. They had like a custom van that they were driving around in. Either way, it was one of those vans that had a ladder on the back. So they threw his ass up on top of the van and hooked him on there and drove away.
Damn you!
All right, let's go with this one. If you're okay answering this question, did you owe money last year in taxes, or did you get a tax return?
We got a tax return.
You got a tax return this year. Okay.
Yeah.
Was it decent?
Yeah, I mean, it got us through everything. I mean,
okay, all right.
I'm in the restaurant business and a store manager, and I'm still not working right now. And, so...
Well, that's good.
Well, it is. I mean, I'm still getting the unemployment, and unfortunately, my mom did pass away May 13th. Month before her 93rd birthday, and we got a bit of inheritance out of that, and we've been...
Were you shocked by the amount of inheritance you got, or did you kind of expect what the number would be?
I'm the baby of the family, so I didn't know. My sisters were handling all of my mom's stuff, and so, it became a lot more than I anticipated. Let's put it that way.
Was there any item from her estate that you wanted to keep?
No, we've already been through all that. Most of it, my dad passed away 27 years ago. So, I got like his wedding ring, which I passed on to my son. I got a pocket watch like from the early 1900s. It was my grandfather's, and a couple of stuff like that, but not much. In fact, we're actually flying down in 2 weeks to the Bay Area to actually bury my mom.
Wow. Because of the COVID stuff. You couldn't get down there. Okay.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it was like right in the middle of it. And like I said, I'm 60 and have asthma. So it was like,
stop bragging.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you, you said your mom died in May?
Yes.
So when you say to bury her, do you literally mean to bury her or to go down and actually do a service?
No, she was cremated.
Okay.
My sister has his ashes, and we're driving back up to where my dad's buried, and they bought a plot for both of them.
So Are you going to bury the ashes, or do they want to be spread anywhere, or just bury the urn?
No, we're going to bury the urn.
Okay.
All right. That's very cool. Ted, did you get tax return this year?
I did.
Did you? I thought I was going to get one, and then I found out I owed money from like 5 years ago.
I remember you telling me that.
And it was like for 2 or 3 years in a row. I was like, you sons of bitches. You know
I did. I got a tax return. I always go into doing taxes. I'm always grumpy about it because I just hate the process, right? Like, man, figure it out through the course of the year, right? It's an entire industry full of accountants, and somehow you F it up. But whatever the case, do the taxes, got money back. And my thing is, I don't even care if I get nothing back. I just don't want to owe anything.
That's it. That's all.
For all the reasons that anyone says. But
I'll pay more in just so I don't have
I'll pay more in if I can avoid paying out. But I got a tax return, and the one treat I wanted to get myself, this was mid-February maybe, man, bought myself a brand new big-ass TV because I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch sports. That was my entire purpose. I just want my TV for sports because I don't watch a ton of TV otherwise. And I get my big-ass TV, and 3 days later, everything shut down for COVID, and my kids have used it for Jeffrey on YouTube.
Reason we asked, how much did you pay in taxes last year, or did you get back in taxes? Indian airport authorities, they literally struck gold when they spotted a man who was walking funny through the airport. They could not figure out what was wrong with the guy. They asked him if he needed assistance, if he needed a wheelchair, if he needed any help getting to his gate. The Go Air passenger arrived from Dubai at the airport, where he tried to avoid paying an 18% tax on his precious gold that he'd smuggled in his backside. Ooh. Officials at the Air Intelligence Unit mined the stash worth $60,000 from the unidentified smuggler's backside, according to the news outlet. Another passenger on the same flight was caught carrying more than 3 pounds of gold, though officials did not disclose if that traveler had concealed it in the same way. This came in at about 2.75 pounds of gold. Customs agents seized it, and he is now in jail. The gold was also, some was hidden in his underwear, but most of it was hidden in the backside.
So wait, he doesn't want to pay taxes on the gold.
Correct.
And so he hides it in the
18%
backside.
tax.
And then what, they just keep it after they find it?
Well, Ted, weren't you the guy going off on the Indian gold and how much better it was, or how much...
Correct.
With the quality level, or...
Yeah, generally it's higher quality. Like mine's 24 karat.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it can be a little cheaper, too.
I'll be sure to steal that from you.
Yeah, I guess it's just the mine they mine it from. I mean, there's no...
I guess, yeah.
I mean, gold is gold as far as we know, right? Well, there's different...
Well, no, there's different values of gold. You can have 18, 20...
Right, depending on the carat.
24 karat, but that's what some people do.
That's a little bit.
Now, somebody chimed in here. They got a tax return that says my tax refund was $8.
Whoa!
That's almost insulting at that point. Like, I tell you what, guys, why don't you keep it? We'll shave that off of next year. You know what I mean?
Frame it.
Go get yourself a value meal.
Right. I mean, like, at least give me 100.
I don't know, man. I think a value meal is about $9.50 now. It depends on what you get.
But can we look up how much a value meal? Look, if you get a tax return, maybe you want to put it in savings. Maybe you want to go on vacation. Maybe do what I did, buy a TV, whatever it's going to be. But $8.
I can't get out.
What are you going to do?
I can't get lunch around here unless we go get 7-Eleven pizza for anything less than about 10 or 12.
Right.
Like even today at Subway, I got a 6-inch sub, and it was with a bag of chips and a drink. That was $11.
Yeah, I spent $19 at Subway. I got a 12-inch sub.
So the meal was $11.
2 cookies and a drink.
I got a 6-inch, a bag of chips, and a drink.
It was $11?
It's $11.
Ooh.
I didn't get anything extra anything either. It's just a half a meatball sub.
We each got a bag of chips.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Chips and a drink.
Chips cost.
So I got the meal deal. You know, but it was $11. That's what I'm saying. There's no way. $8 you couldn't even get. You have to get one of those mini sandwiches.
Someone else says, I'm a tax accountant. Best return I recall was my mom and dad's. Dad thought they would had a small savings account just in case, which is very smart if you're in a position to do that. They did owe $3.
Okay, see, that's manageable.
They owed $3.
That's fine. I don't mind that.
Random.
Hey, tax accountant, what would say your parents did not pay the $3? It went 10 years without paying it. How much would that add up to after a decade?
It was,
You start with 3, but you get penalty after penalty, right?
Mine was 2013, 14, and 15. So I ended up paying
years.
I ended up paying about $4,000 between all those years.
How?
And that was through an accountant. So I already have an accountant.
But how did the IRS and the accountant all miss this? Then you get hit
IRS
with a lump sum.
Comes back and adjusted something.
How do you get to adjust something after the fact?
I don't know. That's what I said. So what is this?
I mean, can you do that in sporting games? Like, ooh, my team would have won. We adjusted the score. Like,
should have run the ball there.
Yeah, what is that?
Can't go back.
Yeah, maybe, right. Or what's the new thing? Going for 2.
Someone else, let's see, I owed $2 on my taxes. The fee for paying, because it was electronic, $2. So I spent a total of $4.
But don't you still pay Liberty Tax or H&R Block or one of those services?
Well, that's what you say. He did it electronically. So probably do like Turbo or something. But yeah, it costs $2 for the processing. They owe $2. So someone else, I had to pay $16,000 in taxes, and they add, it sucked. Yeah,
I bet it did.
I bet you that.
Most people don't have that laying around.
You don't, and that's the problem. You know, when you get hit with...
That's to pay for taxes.
No. I got hit. The worst I got hit, and I still to this day cannot explain how this happened, but they were like, they do the taxes, they come back, and every year I'd gotten like maybe $200 back. Not a ton, but enough where I'm not pissed. And the guy's like, all right, we've run everything through. Then he triple checks it. You owe $11,000. I about burned this place to the ground. It's not their fault, but I'm like, I'm sorry, what now? Because of all the people you don't like giving money to, it's people that already take money out of your check. And that's what pisses me. Like, wait a minute.
Taxes
you
are like,
got all these goddamn accountants, all right? I did not readjust anything in my paperwork for the year. And you're telling me that at the end of this, I owe you $11,000, not for anything I did, but for whatever got adjusted along the way. And it's like, bro, I don't have $11,000 to give you. Yeah. I mean, throughout the course of the year, eventually they did. But man, oh man, you want to be in a bad mood.
Paying taxes is like getting a new hot water heater. Well, before it went bad, the water was hot already.
It was fine.
Now you got a new one. You don't look at it. It's in a closet someplace. The water's hot again. It's supposed to be hot.
But you spent thousands of dollars and nothing feels any different.
No one opens up the closet and goes, look at that new hot water heater. Boy, that was $3,000 well spent. Look at that bad boy. Look at that.
It's a nice one.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful water heater.
Feel that water. Go ahead. Don't burn yourself. It's hot.
Right.
Thanks.
Hello, Matthew. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
Matthew, welcome to the program. Random question.
Yeah, how you guys doing?
We're doing good, man. How are you?
Oh, I'm at my wreck shop.
You're in a restaurant?
I'm at my wreck shop. I'm doing great.
Oh, a wreck shop. Okay. All right, let's see
I
here.
got a question for you guys. I got one for you. So, you know those little brush shoe cleaners that people put inside their doors?
Yes.
That you step into and you brush the bottom of your feet up? Do you think that's how no arm, no leg guy wipes his butt? He puts like toilet paper on there instead?
Somebody did ask, how do you think he wipes his butt? I'm like, I do not know.
I knew a bidet.
That's a good point.
Yeah. That's how he does it,
Well,
probably.
you gotta press the button for the bidet too, don't you?
I mean, he could use his nose.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right.
Down there by the seat and press it with your nose.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Would you say that you are a clumsy person?
Yeah.
How many random little accidents do you have? Or have you had?
Oh, I have like my own filing cabinet at the Workers' Compensation Board. I get injured on a regular basis.
Is that based on your lack of doing it the right way, or are these freak accidents?
No, it's a freak accident. My ex-wife said black cloud over my head like Linus. But I get to work, and I like the shark in a feeding frenzy. I don't stop and look things over. I go in head first. I get going so fast.
Okay, and your ex-wife said this about you.
Yeah. I also have a black cloud over my head.
Okay. Do you have a new person in your life?
My cat.
Okay, all right. So the cloud essentially is still remaining there. All right. What is the last thing you heard?
Yeah, I still have bad luck. I mean, just recently, not too long ago, I lost another fingertip.
Another? How many fingertips have you lost?
Exactly. 2.
Which ones?
Well, they're about half fingers, not just the tips. They're about half fingers, I would say.
Is this a table saw doing this to you? Bandsaw? What's knocking your fingers off your hand?
No. One was they're freak accidents. One was a bolt that was spinning at the end of a shaft. They had used a bolt to keep the shaft from slipping in and out, and it was spinning around, and it pinched my finger, and I panicked, and I pulled, and it just stripped all the meat off the bone, so I had to cut the bone.
But you'd already been through this once before.
With the back, I stuck my finger in a hole, and somebody let go of the piece of metal, and it spun and guillotined my finger off.
They couldn't reattach it?
No, they couldn't reattach those.
And is this on your dominant hand or your non-dominant hand?
I got one on each.
I bet you could throw a hell of a knuckleball right now.
Probably could, huh?
I'm just saying,
if
man.
I was a lefty.
Or you could play a hell of a guitar. It seems like some of the great guitar players are kind of losing
Tony
the top
Iommi.
Yeah, Jerry Garcia, not that he's a great guitar player, but he doesn't have
He was missing fingers?
missing the top part of one of his fingers.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know. I knew Tony Iommi, and he just put some rubber stops on the bottom and played them.
Yeah.
That's so gangster.
The reason we asked to not have a finger?
No, just that they got ripped off in a machine or whatever, and then he just put on different tips.
But see, again, and I make this argument with people, like, man, that sounds badass. Like, no, it doesn't.
You don't wear, like, isotoner gloves, I'm guessing. You probably wear the ones that are cut
fingerless.
off. You know what I mean? At the top, like at the knuckle.
But wouldn't that make it more obvious?
Or you wear mittens. You know what I'm saying?
No, wait a minute. Right, if I'm missing fingertips, I'm not going to wear open-ended gloves.
Well, you can't wear isotoners.
Yes, you
can. It looks like you have 2 flat tires on your hand.
But that
looks better than showing the
You
nubs.
think little flappy little like glove end is going to work out for you?
I just feel more comfortable with that. Having the 5-finger glove, right? Even though only 3 of the fingers are completely full, but if I wear the fingerless gloves, it's obvious. Then it looks like I'm just buying practically. Like,
Hey,
you didn't need all the fingers.
Mike, if you wear like a 5-finger death punch shirt to work, do you think he gets jealous?
You think he's a fan of 4-finger death punch?
Oh, that's great. Yeah, just flaunt it. Your 5 frickin' fingers.
Going to HR, man.
Reason we asked, are you a clumsy person? A legal company studied the data from thousands of personal injury cases to figure out America's clumsiest names. In other words, the names that come up in personal injury claims the most often, which means these people are the most likely to get hurt. Now, as far as the top 10 for women, as far as being clumsy,
all right,
the names include Haley, Taylor, Linda, Barbara, Kimberly, Mary, Angela, Deborah, Gabrielle, and Louise.
Okay.
Those are the clumsy female names.
Louise doesn't strike me as a clumsy person.
Top 10 for men are Kyle, Blake, Brian, Ryan, Daniel, Mark, Bob, Samuel, William, and James.
Well, look, Bob is clumsy, Robert is not. James is clumsy, Jimmy is not, right?
Basically, well, that's what they're saying, essentially. But these are legal names, too. So if your name is James when you file a personal injury report,
we expected it.
Yeah, I've been waiting for you, James.
That's right. He could have been a Jimmy.
You're not going to get your claim because, frankly, your name already says that you're clumsy.
Mm-hmm. You've been screwing this up since birth.
More of the random question coming up 206-421-ROCK.
Well, great balls of fire, Bubba. What happened, Buford? That crazy son of a Sal blew right through that 4-way stop on Main Street and plowed into my cowboy Cadillac.
Your what?
My pickup truck. And I'm pretty sure my leg is broken, Ted.
Oh, quit your bitching, Buford, and talk with those side busters at the Advocates Law Firm. When I got busted up last month, well, shoot, they made sure those snakes at the insurance company played fair.
Boy, howdy. Even that creepy so-and-so Kyle earned his keep.
So if you get injured, the advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
You're in the men's room. 99.9 KISW and KISW HD1 Seattle.
Random question, 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Marvel. Welcome to the men's room.
Random.
Hola.
Welcome to the program there, Marvel. Let's see. We're just talking about the guy who smuggled all that gold up his butt.
Yep.
2.5 pounds.
Yeah.
What?
I got one for you guys. If you guys remember the cartoon The Oblongs.
I remember the name, but not the cartoon.
It was like a weird cartoon where like the family were mutants and the dad had no arms and no legs. I thought about that when you guys were talking about the guy that got away with.
Oh yeah, the drunk driver who also tried to resist and rolled away. Trust me, people are still commenting on it.
Yeah. Okay, let's go with this one. What happened when you were on a flight? What's the craziest thing that happened during your air travel experiences?
They had us stuck on the tarmac because the air conditioner went out, and then they took us off and reboarded us.
All right, that's inconvenient.
Wait, did you reboard the same plane?
Yeah, they said they fixed it.
Well, you would know. That's a fact. You know.
Well, he's here, so
it
they
was still
fixed
hot
it.
on the plane.
Yeah, I had a medical last night flying back. Somebody on the airplane had some kind of medical emergency. All I know is they just made us sit, and then they waited for the paramedics to come on, and then she was boarded or got off the plane.
Did she walk off? Was she carted off?
It didn't seem like there was a lot of urgency, so I hope she was all right. I don't know. I'm just glad that it wasn't to the point where we had to do what you had to do, Ted, and land somewhere else and do.
That's happened to me twice.
Do all that crap.
Somebody died, or just
the one
emergency
time I'm
landing?
pretty sure, unfortunately, somebody passed away because we were coming from Chicago to Seattle, and we stopped in Billings, Montana. And same thing. Ambulance came screaming up and then just kind of drove away.
Turned the lights off?
Yeah. And then the other one was leaving D.C. I think it was direct to Seattle. But somebody got, like, violently ill and there was, like, puke all over the place.
Really?
So we had to pull off and pop into Chicago real quick.
I have been the medical emergency once, but we still made the landing because it didn't get bad until we were coming in for a landing. But it's the one and only time that I've been in the bathroom of a plane openly vomiting as it landed. Which, by the way, makes for a big mess when things are ricocheting off the runway.
Yeah.
That was a bad situation. The thing I remember most, it was in the Bahamas years ago. And it's me and my brother. He's like 19, so I'm about 14, 15. We're on one of those super wide-body jets, so 3 seats on either side and 5 in the middle. Never been on a plane that big before, and this was Eastern Airlines back in the day. There was no sky ramp thing to get on. You walked up the stairs, all right? So we had the 2 middle seats and the 5 middle seats in the middle of the plane. No big deal, but they couldn't get the stairs off the side of the plane. That is what they're telling us. So the reason we're delayed, this was hours, all right? And it's the Bahamas. It is hot. It's humid, whatever. Everyone's grumpy, but there is, I'll say, a woman of larger carriage sitting in the row in front of us. And I always remember this. She had a strapless dress on, and the plane's getting really hot, and she started fanning herself with the magazines they have in the pocket, and she just reeked of armpit. And this is blowing on my brother, you know, the rocket scientist, the well-mannered. This is the one and only time I thought he was actually going to have a public meltdown and kill somebody. Mm-hmm. This woman started fanning, and we'd been there for 3 hours at this point, and she started fanning herself, and just the stink of her just got radiated back in our seats. I remember my brother, I mean, I had to, like, talk him off the ledge. He could not take it.
Have you ever been on a big plane, you have, that has that ramp on it? Have you ever done that, Ted, for whatever reason? Like the airport just didn't have the things that come out?
I don't know.
I didn't do that on a recent flight because something.
The one time on a big
You don't mean like the stairs.
You don't realize how big, first of all, that flight of steps is.
Mm-hmm.
And second of all, even if you get off of like a small commuter jumper, like if you're flying to Spokane or something like that, you know, on a 45-minute flight or whatever, anytime I will step out the door, I always have to wave. Like I'm in a band or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, guys, I'm going to walk down the steps from an airplane.
That's the one and only time.
The imaginary way. Like, how's everybody doing? It's great to be here.
So I had to do that at SeaTac. I can't remember the situation. Like, our flight was delayed or something, but because of that, the schedule was messed up. So SeaTac, quote-unquote, wasn't ready for the flight at that time, so we had to land at a different part of the airport. We couldn't tell what part. This was only like in the last 2 years, but that is the most recent time we had to walk down the stairs, which was weird for everyone. You're just not.
No, it's a long flight of steps.
Then they put us on all these different shuttle buses that had to drive us somewhere. People were getting pissed. And I mean, they stuffed us in these shuttle buses, and it was ridiculous. And they never told us what the problem was.
Do you ever wonder why Air Force One just can't pull into a terminal like every other plane?
Look,
I mean, if I'm the commander in chief, like, could you give me the closest gate man to like
but not only that,
park my
but
car or whatever?
I mean, look who's running for office now. It's old ass men. And then the one thing
but they've given a huge ass flight of steps.
Old ass, decrepit, broken down men like, hey, by the way, you need to scale this long ass metal staircase off of a plane.
Either that, or I want like a big banana splits inflatable slide. You know what I mean? Like every time, like wee.
If I'm the president, you can do that.
Yeah,
no, I can do that. I'm the goddamn
but it doesn't
commander.
look presidential.
What do you mean?
That matters? that matters.
Like, dude,
that's a thing
this
now.
guy gets to jump off the slide every time he gets off a plane. This is outstanding.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's like one of those slides at the fair where you get in a potato sack. Like, same deal. That'd be great.
Tell you what, the Canadian guy could do it. It'd still look cool.
Oh, you know he would. Yeah. And he'd move down slower than most people.
This is not the exact way you want to spend a flight.
Hands on hip sliding down.
Reason we asked what happened on the flight, a Michigan woman says she woke up with someone urinating on her while she was on the flight home to Detroit from Las Vegas. That someone happened to be a well-known North Carolina pastor, according to a report from a news station in Detroit. Pastor, by the way, has not been publicly identified.
Why?
He was issued a court appearance for a misdemeanor assault, and he was released, according to the FBI.
Misdemeanor assault.
Until he appears in front of a judge and therefore gets formally charged, he will not have his name released.
Why? If I did it, they'd be like, Stephen Hill, and KISW's men's room in Seattle urinated on another passenger.
It'd be all over TMZ. Alicia Beverly told the Detroit TV station the incident happened on a Monday night red eye. She said most of the people on the plane asleep. According to what she told Fox 2, she was sitting in the back of the plane next to her sister at the time of the alleged incident. It felt warm, like on the side of me. I felt something warm. I jump up, and I seen his private area out.
I seen it.
And I screamed, and that woke everybody up. By that time, I actually looked at him, and I see him shake himself off, and I'm like, this man just peed on me. I looked, and there was a puddle of pee in the seats. She said an off-duty police officer was among those whom heard the scream, woke up. She said he restrained the man, who they're only identifying as a very well-known pastor from North Carolina. The report also said the pastor may have had a reaction to a sleep aid. Beverly says the man didn't say a word the entire time he was standing next to her during the alleged incident.
Well, I think he sent you a clear message.
She said she had to sit in her urine-soaked clothes for the rest of the flight for about 3 more hours before it landed in Detroit. The FBI, who handles investigations into incidents, also whatever incident on the airplane, they're in charge of that, I guess. But no one is speaking about this guy. The people who thought they knew who he was reached out to him. He declined any comment.
Then you know it's him.
So right now,
because anyone else would say instantly, "I'm not the dude that peed on that woman."
Right.
So the one guy that says no comment, that's the guy.
So just know this: if you ever want to pee on someone on an airplane,
put on a collar.
Yeah, that's it, and you're never going to get in trouble. That's amazing. Is there any other profession where you could do that and you would, you know what I'm saying?
No.
Because if you're famous, then it's really.
Oh, it's definitely there, right?
If you're a professional athlete, you're definitely going to be in TMZ.
But I would
you're going to get in trouble.
Even if you're Joe Schmo, you know, Debbie Lipschitz, right? Whatever. If that's what you did, come on, man.
What else perks you get? You know what I'm saying? If you're a well-known pastor.
That's one.
I can pee on someone on an airplane. I don't even care. They won't even release my name.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
God bless.
Al Summer points usually the president lands at military bases. They only have stairs. Well, military, if you're listening, it's time to upgrade. We need a sky bridge. Or, again, like you said, Miles, just give me the slide.
I don't think he ever lands at a regular airport.
When you do the slide, though, you are the president of the United States. It doesn't matter how it looks. Look, optics are gone, so we know that doesn't matter. Hell yeah, I'm sliding, because one thing that I think that would assert if you're the president is he just did what we all want to do.
White Claw in one hand.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Beads in the other or something. Woo, New Orleans, here I am.
Like, I wouldn't want to have to walk down that big of a stairwell, but also looks cool.
Well, walking down?
Yeah.
It looks cool because of who you are. But, like, I'm already the president. I don't have to do anything to look cool. I'm the freaking president. I'm sliding down the ramp.
Take your shoes off.
That would look cool, too. Like, my ads are back because they have the big presidential seal on it, so it looks official. Slide down. You have your vice president sliding down behind you. And I try to do the military salute as I'm going down the actual slide.
Sure.
See if I can pull it off. Those guys would hate you. Like, just stop. Hello, Corey. Welcome to the men's room.
Skinless bangers.
Hola. Skinless bangers. Yeah.
Yes.
No kidding.
Mommy.
Let's, please.
God.
I'm so hungry.
Take the skin off me, bangers.
Let's go this
Be
one.
nice the Bills could stop a dang run.
What fart will you always remember in your lifetime? Whether it was you who generated it or somebody else, what is the one fart you'll always remember?
Yeah, I had a good one this weekend. My girlfriend's pretty upset with me.
Is she still upset?
She's not really upset, but I shouldn't do that again.
Why is she upset?
She's upset. If you know you shouldn't do it
Her head was
again.
in my lap.
Oh. So you did this intentionally.
She didn't feel your thighs tense up or anything like that? You didn't give her a warning?
Well, by the time I knew it was going to happen, it was a little bit too late.
You mean you couldn't stop this from happening? You couldn't say, hey, lift your head up off my lap for a second. It was just, by the time you realized it was going to happen, there's nothing you could do to stop it. Like it was the Terminator of farts.
I'm sure there's something I could have done, but the payoff is worth it.
Was it the noise level or was it the stink level?
Oh, the stink.
And what do you attribute that to? Because anybody who farts and it's really bad, they always have reasoning behind it.
They'll tell you something they ate.
Which is completely wrong most of the time, I would guess. Because no vegetarian said, it was the cauliflower.
Right.
But we just know vegetarians most of the time have stinkier farts than people who eat meat.
Those are natural farts.
But I think you can tell. Like sometimes you've just treated your body like a trash can.
I think, it's like anything, man. 99% of the time you fart, it mostly smells kind of like your own farts. And every once in a while you have that fart where you're like, this doesn't smell like me.
No.
And that's when
it smells like darkness.
Right. That was my son years ago. I had farted, I believe, in my own bedroom. I then left the bedroom, but my kids wander in there, and the tang of my fart is still heavy in the air, but it doesn't smell like a normal fart. It's just one of those I'm not feeling great days. And I can hear my kids talking, and they sound real serious, right? And they're like, what is that? I don't know what that smell is. And then I hear my son go, it smells like darkness. And I'm like, oh, my God, man, it's not all that bad, dude.
Darkness.
Yeah. Smells like darkness.
Didn't you have somebody fart in an Uber on you the other day?
Oh, I did. Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
You didn't fart. It was the driver. Right?
It was the driver.
Okay.
But, like, as he pulls up, he's just like, it's my first ride of the day. I'm like, what? It's my first ride of the day. Like, okay.
That's cool.
And then all the windows go down, and I'm like, oh, that's what he's talking about. But it was that, I don't know how to explain it. This was like a month ago. So it was warm in the Uber.
And then there was the fart on top that had been hotboxed in there.
Yes. But he was very apologetic. He was just like, it's kind of like your guys.
Like, do you give him 5 stars?
I mean, honestly, I do.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but here's the difference. Mike and I talked about this.
If you farted in his car, would he give you 5 stars?
No, there's no
Probably
way.
not.
No.
And Mike and I talked about this briefly this morning. I said, look, a cab driver, if you hop in a cab and it smells like he recently farted, I cut them a little slack because they don't necessarily know you're coming, all right? Uber, I know I'm coming to pick you up. I know how far away I am from my it is all right there. So he just let it go because he didn't care. At least a cab driver, and I've gotten in a cab where they apologize when you get in. And you go like, dude, I get it. You were sitting here at the curb. You didn't know I was going to hop in. You hedged your bet. You bet it wrong, right? Uber, it's like, I know damn well I'm 2 blocks away from this guy. Anyway, 2 stars.
You can always...
But I'm telling you, man, it was just the morning. Like, he was very apologetic. Every window went down. And he seemed almost scared, but he's like, I'm so sorry. Sorry.
Reason we asked what fart will you always remember, there's a 35-year-old guy named James Mallet from Kingswood, England, and back in November he was drunk, took a Uber to a club, and then he farted. The driver immediately told him to get out, and when he did, James started punching the driver. The driver fought back, ended up breaking his finger. James was in court this week and wound up pleading guilty to assault. He got 6 months suspended, a community service, and a small fine.
Come on, man.
Yeah, he did not get a ride to the club.
Yeah, the best part I had is on the back of a bus. I've told this before. I want to go through the whole story, but I'm sitting in the very back of the bus, and this was just a quick one of those, right? I didn't think it was a big deal, and it hits me, and I realize, like, oh my God, like, this is bad even for me. Real bad, whatever. There's not a lot of people on the bus, but then there's someone sitting maybe 4 seats in front of me. Now, they don't turn around, they don't say anything, but they open their window. So I realize the fart has rolled that far. And then, as I keep watching the people toward the front of the bus, everyone starts opening their windows. Now, we're going about 40 miles an hour at this point. The bus driver opens the door while we're moving, which breaks every law that they have.
Sure.
But no one had a problem with this because it smelled that bad. Now, the luxury I had, because at this point, I'm like, oh, my God, because people are now starting to laugh a little, but they're more irritated because it does smell that bad. It was a real bad fart. But lucky for me, there were 2 kids, like 13 or 14, sitting together. They got their windows open, too, but they're laughing about it. They get off at a bus stop a couple blocks before me, so everyone assumed it was them. So everyone's yelling out the windows at them, and I'm like, yeah, nasty-ass kids.
Sure.
Oh, it was me. It was bad. It was bad, man. Bad.
Open the windows.
Yeah. Hello, Eddie. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
Eddie, welcome to the show. And a random question. How are you, man?
Pretty good. First time caller, long time listener.
Okay, we appreciate that.
Welcome to the show.
All right, let's go with this one here. Eddie, what would you say? What food or drink did you used to love growing up that maybe not as around anymore?
Well, I mean, I ate a lot of tacos, that's for sure.
But you still find a taco. But do they measure up to the tacos that you had growing up?
Nothing like mom's cooking, though.
What about even breakfast cereals? That's where I feel like as a kid, there was, I remember the peanut butter Captain Crunch, which may or may not be back, but they discontinued it for a while, which killed me as a kid. And Tony the Tiger apparently had a kid, never met the wife, kid out of wedlock, but Tony Jr., he had the frosted, basically it was Rice Krispies that were sugar frosted. And they were the jam, man.
Tony Jr.,
bro.
Tony Jr.
Yeah, well, Anthony Jr., but they discontinued that. And I remember that crushed me as a kid.
I just remember surviving on Top Ramen for a long time, to the point where now I can't really eat it.
I can eat it again.
I loved it at the time.
I still like it. I just don't buy it. But that's like I don't know. It's almost like a weird ghetto treat every once in a while. Like, you know what? Screw it. I'll have a cup of noodles.
Well, there's nothing ghetto. It's just so cheap. But then you go to like a ramen restaurant. You know they're using the exact same crap, right? But somehow they charge you like $15 for a bowl of something that costs 80 cents to put together. And you're like, you know what? This is sophisticated.
Sure. But parents also buy cheap-ass crap for their kids.
So I don't go to those restaurants.
They know they're going to plow through it. So there's certain things that you only ingest as a kid. Like, no adult picks up Dino Nuggets on their own.
No.
You know what I mean?
We do not.
In the like, I used to get TV dinners constantly.
Oh, I was never big on TV dinners.
I would just put 4 in the freezer, man. Just Salisbury steak, mashed potatoes, whatever, with a brownie and corn. And that was fine by me, but I would never buy that now.
I mean, as a kid, it was
like a treat.
Right, because it was in anything in a package was awesome as a kid. But yeah, now I'm like, oh my God.
I'm with you. I'd be hard pressed to buy like a TV
Salisbury steak from whatever, yeah.
Yeah. I got a cabinet full of ramen. That's one of the go-tos for my daughter, but she loves ramen noodles.
But it's the drinks, I think. Adults don't go and buy Juicy Juice.
Or Kool-Aid Tropical Punch, and I want to.
Capri Suns that are packaged. What was the other thing I used to drink all the time? I never drink anymore. Oh, they would buy Sunny D for me because it was cheaper than orange juice, and I plow through orange juice.
Because it's not made with oranges.
So, Sunny D, here, this is for you. Or Donald Duck orange juice, which I'm not even sure what that was.
I'll tell you some of those juice.
It was from concentrate.
Those juice bag things we buy, like the Capri Sun, anything you stab the straw through, all right? So, my kids love them. There was a birthday party for one of these two knuckleheads a couple months ago, but a bunch of those were there. One of the kids, I guess he kind of messed up the packaging trying to get the straw in. So we squeezed it into a glass for him. I'm like, sure, dude, I got it. I can't even explain the color because I've never actually seen the juice.
It's kind of clear, isn't it?
It should either be clear or it should look like apple juice. I mean, it straight up looked like pee. But I remember I'm squeezing it into this glass. And again, it occurred to me that in all of my years,
how much is there really
I've
in there?
never actually seen the juice inside. And that's probably for the better because I'm looking at it and I'm like, dude, I don't know if this is good. So the kid takes a sip. He's like, oh, it's fine, Mr. Hill. I'm like, are you sure, man? Because, I don't want to freak him out. But like, look, when you get older, if someone handed you a glass and it was that color, you would not consume this. It looks like you put a bucket under a dripping sink, went back a week later. I mean, I'm looking at it and it smells like apples or whatever. But
I can't. We used to have.
Disgusting.
Did you ever drink the jugs?
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. Do you remember the wax lips that had juice in the middle of it?
Hell yeah.
Okay, well, that was the same juice that was in those little jugs. And then there'd be like a wall display of just different colored juices in gallon containers. So it was either cherry, it was... Do you remember that? Lemon lime?
No, dude, trust me. I drank those little jugs all the time.
Yeah.
And that was like a big deal in the summer. Like, oh, we got jugs.
Right, we got jugs of juice. And I mean, it was...
Right, and that's what it's called. A jug of juice. Man, people are upset at us, man.
About what?
Do not speak ill of the Dino Nuggets for adults. Like, I'm 26. My wife's 25. We love Dino Nuggets to this day. I'm a 29-year-old guy, no kids. You sure as hell can get down on Dino Nuggets. Don't rip on Dino Nuggets. Those things are the bomb.
Are they better than the regular ones? They're just shaped like a T-Rex. What the hell's the difference?
I mean, I've tried both, man. To me, they taste the same. I'm sure the Dino Nuggets have something added like sugar or whatever just to make sure your kids eat it. Yeah. But I mean, they're Dino Nuggets, man. Yeah,
I'm with you, man. Like... I don't know. You're an adult. Well, I'm not going to talk bad about these people, but like, is it just mental? You think because it's the shape of a dinosaur it tastes better?
Someone else. I have a Costco bag of Dino Nuggets in my freezer right now. I'm 37 with no kids. They're fantastic.
Okay,
sweet baby Rays.
All right, hold on. Because I eat pizza rolls, and I think they're delicious.
Okay.
All right.
What's more juvenile, pizza rolls or just chicken nuggets
Dino
in
Nuggets.
general?
And no.
Just chicken nuggets in general.
I don't think there's anything wrong with adults having chicken nuggets in the home.
But it's when you make them dino-shaped. If you said my pizza rolls have to be shaped like monkeys, I'd be like, okay.
Pizza monkeys.
You got to pizza monkeys, yeah. Try new pizza monkeys.
That sounds like a shop.
Pizza monkeys?
Yeah.
Sounds like an insult.
Oh, yeah.
Pizza
you
monkeys.
can build them however you want. It's like a mod pizza, but it's crazier. They got donkey sauce and stuff.
I think, and that's a tough question. I just would prefer to eat nuggets over a pizza roll.
I don't know, though. I feel like there's a time in your life when you later teens first move out of the house where you're more likely to have pizza rolls in the freezer than chicken nuggets.
Do you remember when they used to have little egg rolls that were in those pizza roll size, same size, but they were egg roll middle?
Oh, you're talking about way back in the day with like the black box?
Yeah, they were tremendous.
Oh, yeah.
God.
That was
unbelievable.
That and super pretzels.
Reason we asked what food or drink did you used to love? Coca-Cola just announced that they are killing off Tab, which we didn't even know was still around.
That's still around. Well,
that was their first ever diet soda. It debuted almost 60 years ago, but was big in the 70s and 80s. I want to say it was either that or Diet Right that people bought.
It was Mr. Pibb and Tab. My mother loved Tab. Don't drink my Tab. We're like, yeah, okay.
Well, it's fallen off the radar a little bit, but if you're a Tab drinker, apparently you still love Tab, and lots of other diet sodas have become way more popular. But apparently it's always been around. Not only is Coca-Cola getting rid of Tab, they have some of their other, quote, underperforming products, including Odwalla. I've seen you guys drink those juices before.
They're
Odwalla,
okay.
like the smoothies?
Yeah. They're all right.
And coconut water, Zico coconut water.
Come
so
on.
that's gone. So I mean, if you put it in perspective, like you're getting rid of the Odwalla, you're getting rid of coconut water and Tab. Does anybody care?
The Tab, someone's going to care. Look, the coconut water, you got some of those weirdos that love that stuff. Odwalla, I mean,
it's already they're already starting to hoard it. It's already the price of Tab is already jacked up since they made this announcement.
I asked this earlier. When's the last time you physically saw one?
I can't even tell you. The fact that we had RC Cola in here.
Yeah, about
6 months ago. That was one of the strangest things I've ever seen in cans.
I'm going to tell you right. People are going to get burned on this, right? They're going to jack up the price of Tab. People are going to hoard it. Coca-Cola is going to do that thing. Well, we didn't realize that so many people enjoyed it. We're going to keep it here. Don't buy. Do not waste your money.
This was also before NutraSweet. It was like full of saccharine. Like this was the worst tasting diet soda. At least at this point, they've upped the game a little bit to make it a little bit more tolerable. It's nowhere near as good as the original, but you can look if you're going to make a mixed drink. Diet Coke, you would not know the difference. Like if you did a Jack and Coke, between that and the Jack and Diet, there's enough sugar in the Jack Daniels. So typically if I'm drinking a soda, I'm mixing it with something. But Tab was the worst stuff ever.
By the way, more Dino Nugget support. Mm-hmm. The burning on Dino Nuggets hits way different than normal nuggets like McDonald's. Quote, the quoting on Dino Nuggets is superior to any brand. They're amazing in the air fryer. We continue. You keep ripping on Dino Nuggets, I'm going to find you. This is Liam Neeson, obviously. And I'm going to shove a bag of them in your mouth.
They're that good?
Someone else. What is it? Yo, bros, Dino Nuggets are the best. Cheap, and they just taste better. By the way, I'm 33, and I love them.
Dino Nuggets have more crispier edges.
Well, they would, because they're shaped like dinosaurs. I had no idea.
Yeah, people.
Do you eat pizza bagel rolls?
Wow. Yeah, people love F you, top ramen is not good ramen, not even the same league as average ramen. Spent $500 to get one of my favorite ramen spots. All right.
You are listening to The Men's Room.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.